y'all think put the battery in Tisha's back before she came out? Y'all think Miss Wanda was like giving Tisha pointers on what to say? Who do y'all think put the battery in Tisha back? Because Tisha came out activated. Rehearsed, but activated. Let's talk about it, y'all. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Tammy. This is Tammy Talks. We are here to talk Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 6, The Reunion, Part 1. We finally made it to the reunion 32 weeks later. I thought it was good. I did. I thought it was good. I was entertained the whole way through. So it was cool with me. So if you guys are brand new to the channel or a returning viewer that is not yet subscribed, y'all do me a favor. I'm trying to get to 25,000 subscribers. So if you have not yet subscribed, please consider doing so. Thumbs up the video if you enjoy any parts of it. And then as always, leave your comments down below, which I know y'all are going to do already. Let's talk about this. So first things first. Why are Marceau and Tisha the only people that have like they picture on the door? What was that about? Like, did their team do that? Did Carlos do that? Did Own do that? They were the only people with their like poster on the door. Nonetheless, they were lame. They had on boxing robes because they're ready to go to war. Okay. I didn't like Kimmy's dress at all. At all. Maurice's tux looked nice, or his suit, whatever it was, suit or tux, it looked nice. Tisha's makeup was pretty. We'll leave it at that. Aside from her going like super throwback and putting the color, the eyeshadow in the corner of her eyes, girl, I guess. Carlos introduces Courtney and Stormy as Courtney and Stormy Steele, and then it's like, oops, Beasley. I guess. I just feel like it's rude to do that. Y'all know what that man's last name is. I just think it's rude to do it. While Courtney did look nice in his pink, him and Stormy were out there looking like a pack of double bubble. Like, come on, y'all. We have to think about colors. We have to think about colors. I love the color of Martell's tux. I thought his tux was nice, suit, whichever one it was. I thought it looked nice. Melody looked an absolute fool. Melody looked an absolute mess. If there's one thing that I cannot stand about Christmas, is tinsel. She looked like the Renaissance Christmas tinsel tree there was. Like, everything about it was, no ma'am. Absolutely no ma'am. What Carlos really might want to think about implementing, since he likes to, I guess, draw inspiration from the housewives, you need to think about giving these people a color scheme. It would look better. Because y'all look a fool up here with lime green and silver metallic tinsel and pink. And you and Martell's suits are like similar. Like, y'all looked a mess. Collectively. Y'all can't even take a nice picture. But whatever, let's get to the reunion, y'all. So, starts off with Melody saying that she feels freer and lighter with her name change after Carlos asked about it. And Martell was like, she was free with me. She wasn't. She wasn't. That's why y'all got a divorce. It's like, Martell, please. I don't understand why Martell still gets so wound up about Melody. Like, anytime Melody can say that, my blood pressure is the best that it's been in years, and he'll come out, yo, your blood pressure was good with mine. And it's like, Marcel, if that lady says she feels freer and she feels back to herself because she's back to her maiden name, why does that bother you so much? You like to point out how long ago y'all got divorced. It shouldn't bother you. It shouldn't. So Carlo asks Tisha and Marceau Marceau asks Stormy. No. Marceau, no, I had it right. Marceau, that's why the damn notes. Carlos asks Tisha and Marceau if they think they are good business people. Tisha said that, in regards to the business expo, Tisha said that everybody was hating on them and had negative things to say. And that's really not true. People gave them constructive criticism. And not the fake constructive criticism that some of y'all like to do in people's YouTube comments. They gave them actual constructive criticism. So Marceau was like, actually, Maurice, Marcel, and Melody all did say positive things. And they were like, what about Kimmy? And he was like, not so much. Kimmy said positive things as well. But the real issue is that Letitia cannot take criticism. She can't take feedback, right? You can say, Tisha, I love the way that you did this wall, but you might want to consider going maybe a shade lighter for whatever reason. Well, I ain't got to do my color, but like, that's what Tisha does. Tisha takes everything as an attack. That's a sign of insecurity, but whatever. So then it turns into Carlos asking Stormy and Courtney if they think that the Scotts 1.0 are a power couple like them. And Stormy and Tisha get to arguing. It was a lot. They were talking over each other. I didn't have my closed caption on at that time, so I don't know what they were saying. But it ended with Tisha saying Stormy needs to take her TikTok money and pay her invoices. Tisha, considering that you and Marceau have a number of lawsuits right now, I don't think that's in the best interest of you to mention that. Considering you and Marceau are living in a different house literally every season, I don't know if you want to bring up money. Considering Marceau wants to get Rent-A-Center furniture or rented furniture, used furniture to furnish this house, I don't think that it is in your best interest to mention anybody's money. That's just me. That's just me. So Stormy then said that, there aren't a lot of successful black businesses like mine. And Stormy is saying that, they're coming for her and she blew up overnight. And when Tisha makes as much money as her to come holler at me. Tisha said that she's a millionaire. I think her and Marceau are, but y'all don't have Stormy and Courtney money. Y'all don't have Stormy and Courtney money. I'll say that. I don't think. I could be wrong. Hell, I don't have nearly as much money as either one of them. So who? Okay. So Tisha. We see Courtney and Marceau telling each other, this is with them. We hear. They're not going to get involved in the arguing. And then Tisha is like, now go pop some pills. And it's like, Tisha, the fuck are you talking about? And it's like, look, Marceau even told her, you doing too much. You doing too much. Pop some pills is really kind of like a 6 degrees of separation type deal where, because I'm not going to be brave enough to say it to Kiki, I know you're friends with Kiki, so I'm going to say it to you. What Tisha is going to learn, and Marceau too, y'all got a bad habit of accusing people of being on drugs. Now, if Stormy goes and gets a lawyer and sues y'all asses for defamation, then what? Libel, slander, whichever one it falls under, then what? There was literally no reason for you to say that to her. I thought that was weird. I thought that was super weird. So Stormy then said that Tisha rehearsed her reads in the car, and it's clear she did. You can tell when somebody's reads are rehearsed, right? Y'all ever watch a YouTube video and the way that the content creator is saying stuff, you can tell that they practiced it before they got on camera. Some people are able to say stuff top of the dome. I've always been a witty person. So I've always been able, you can ask anybody that knows me, I've always been able to rattle stuff off top of my head. So when I sit down to do these videos, my notes, even though they're detailed, my notes are strictly the facts on the show. Whatever I say as like a joke or a description or something like that is top of the head, right? You can tell though when some people rehearse their reads for here, rehearse their shade, it comes across a certain way. It feels forced. And the way that Tisha said that pill popping line, that was rehearsed. It's very clear. So Carlos asked Stormy about the whole website copying. Stormy tells Tisha, I gave your ass grace, which she did. Tisha, and she also said that Tisha came with an agenda on what she was going to say, and basically now was on, I see what you're doing. Let's get it. And that's referencing the pill popping. So Tisha tries to blame the web designer as well, said that she hired somebody that does a lot of stuff in Huntsville, blah, blah, blah. Carlos is like, yeah, but what you should have did, Tisha, is have this person issue a statement saying that you didn't do it. Carlos also feels it's not fair to blame Tisha for this. That's bullshit, Carlos. This is why Tisha is to blame. It's her fucking website. Right? Whether you created it, you did the wording, you did any of that, at the end of the day, it is still your website. Still your website. So if you didn't have the wherewithal about yourself, the business acumen to double check this, that's on you. But what I refuse to believe, no, that man, the web designer, got direction from you, right? Because out of all the websites across the world, that man just so happened to go to Canvas Beauty to get their wording for for the return policy or the refund policy. They just so happened to get Stormy's. Nobody else is in the world. It just so happened to be Stormy's in Canvas Beauty. You sent that person over there. You said, I want my website to look like this. Use this wording. You did that. So as a result, you ended up with that exact wording. You should have proofread it, Tisha. You can't be mad at anybody else but yourself. And the way that Carlos moved on so quickly from it shows that you do be playing favorites with the Scotts. You do. They don't have to give up much about their life. And then when they are put to the carpet, when they are held to task, you gloss over it. This should have been a conversation where Tisha should have been forced to take accountability. Tisha should have been forced to say, you know what, Stormy? I'm sorry. That's literally all she has to do. But Tisha won't do that. Why? Just admit you stole from her website. Plagiarism. People get kicked out of college for that. What are you doing? So we then get to the Kimmy and Maurice sex talk. And this segment, whatever. So Maurice said that he was ignorant to the situation. He apologizes and said he's a different person now. No, you aren't. No, you aren't. A tiger doesn't change its stripes overnight. You're not a different person. Carlos then said that people felt that Maurice was assaulting Kimmy, abusing her in that manner because he was forcing her to suffer through it. Kimmy said that having a fruitful sex life in her marriage is top priority for her. Maurice said that faking an orgasm is wrong. Kimmy said that faking it was the best move and she just should have never told. Here's the thing though, Kimmy. Here's the thing. If it was the best move, probably because you were in pain. But I think your best move would be for you to have a real conversation with your husband. Let your husband know my body physically cannot take this. My body physically cannot take this. If your husband that is supposed to be there with you for richer and poor in sickness, okay, and in health, if your husband cannot accept that you can no longer have the amount of sex that you used to, that is an issue that y'all need to talk about. But for you to feel that I'm just going to suffer through it and then fake an orgasm and you think that is the best possible solution, that's sad. But you know, Kimmy is going to defend these men if she don't do nothing else. So Maurice said that faking it is lying because he wants you to be there when he gets there. Marceau was like, maybe you're just bad at sex. They then begin to joke about it. Maurice is not forced to take any accountability whatsoever for the lewd jokes he made about her not having hair, which you can tell bother Kimmy, but of course, she's not going to say anything about it. I guess, girl, that's your marriage, not mine. Carlos then asked Melody about faking the orgasm. She said, absolutely, she did, of course. So she said, Martell then said that that's a lie because the bed was always wet. I got a hook and a curve. I said, oh, yeah? Okay. Melody said that it's no different than Martell faking being faithful in the marriage. Carlos asked Melody, what about Martell's sex didn't make her pleased? And it's like, Carlos, what are you doing? This is just as bad as when it's like on Love is Blind, or on, what was that? Was it Love is Blind or Married at First? No, yeah, Love is Blind. When they were asking these people, what about this person are you not attracted to? And it's like, why? Why would you ask somebody that? So Melody said that when you have somebody that's lovey-dovey one day, and then the next day that person is mean to you, it's a turnoff. And what a lot of men kind of forget is that for a woman, for some women can turn it on right away, but for some women, foreplay is a must. Foreplay is a must. It has to start with your behavior. Nobody wants to lay down in bed and you pounding that heifer into, you know what I'm saying? You're pounding her into the mattress and there's nothing behind it. You know what I mean? That's not. What do you expect? Do you really expect somebody to orgasm from that? Or have you been a fucking tyrant to her all damn day? What makes you think that she's going to be in the mood to get wet to ultimately have an orgasm? And that's the part that Martell is missing. So Tisha didn't say that she fakes it, but she does admit that every woman fakes it at some point. And Stormy said that no, Courtney pleases me every time, which is what y'all should have been saying. Y'all all should have been on y'all husband's side. Martell and Melody are a special case, but okay. They break for lunch, which I thought was interesting that we're breaking for lunch during the first half hour of the first episode. How many lunches y'all gonna have? Because there's 2 more episodes. While they're broken for lunch, Marceau is telling Tisha that she's doing too much. Tisha's response is, you don't ever say anything to the other people doing too much. Heifer, that's it's like Tisha, the comprehension girl. Let's use our thinker, okay? Marceau then said their last name ain't Scott. He don't care what they do. Marceau's whole position is, Tisha, you got to learn to let stuff run off your back. See, Marceau has super tough skin. Right? Marceau doesn't care what anybody says about him. He wants Tisha to be the same way, and she's not. So Tisha said that they've been coming for her all season, which really nobody has. Nobody's been coming for you unwarranted all season. But she feels that they've been coming for her all season, and she can't ignore it any longer. Marceau uses the example of a pilot flying and 90% of his flights are successful, and then he's tired of doing it, so he crashed. I'm like, Marceau, that's not a good example. It's not a good analogy, but okay. Tisha said we're going to agree to disagree because she doesn't know how many times is she supposed to let people come at her. Marceau said forever, millions of times. It doesn't matter. It matters to Tisha. But Tisha also said that Stormy isn't under her skin, and she clearly is. What do you mean? From the moment that Stormy came out, Tisha's been like rah rah like a dungeon dragon. Like, you've been going at her. Courtney, on the other hand, is saying he's never heard Tisha talk. Stormy said that Tisha has balls on the reunion. She tried to give her grace, and now she's gonna give her hell. And I said, oh girl, what does that mean? Martell, on the other hand, done got completely undressed so he doesn't get dirty on lunch. You adult man, you can't eat without spilling. Take your suit jacket off and you should be fine, but stay clean, sir. So he said that he knows for a fact that Melody is lying about faking it. It's fine, Maurice. Really, nobody cares. A lot of people don't even believe Melody about it. So you going on and on about this, you don't have to. So we get to this ladies segment and Marceau was on stage. Why? Why is Marceau on stage? So Marceau said that you all can't be ladies and ask to be equal, but not want him in their business. Y'all ask for my opinion, and they were all like, no, we don't. Kimmy, because Carlos asked everybody, raise your hand if you think Marceau was in the ladies' business. Kimmy is like, he's in everyone's. It's like Kimmy is so scared to go against Marceau. Marceau's not going to kick you out the family, girl. You're fine. You can tell Marceau that a lot of the stuff that he does isn't okay. You can agree for once against Marceau. It's not gonna hurt you. It's not. You still gonna be in the family. You'll still be at Thanksgiving and Christmas, sis. It's okay. I promise you. All right. So Carlos asked Marceau if Stormy was warranted in calling him a bitch. Marceau said that, and at first I was offended, okay? He said, but then I learned that it's just a part of her culture. And here's the thing, the culture thing came from you, Stormy. This culture thing came from you. From the first time that Marceau said that you calling a man a bitch was in your culture, you should have never agreed to that. That's on you. Stormy then said that Marceau goes around gaslighting people for camera time and men move with more integrity. So the stuff that he does is bitch like, so that's why I call him a bitch. Carlos asked Tisha, why did she allow Stormy to call her husband a bitch? Tisha said, well, I don't allow her to do anything. She's a grown woman. Here's the thing, Tisha. You did allow her to do it. Because the first time that Stormy said Marceau is a bitch or acted like a bitch, behaved like a bitch, however she phrased it, he wasn't around. She said it to you at Tiffany's Sippin' Tea for Baby Ace. In that moment, you should have checked her ass in. Because what my mom has never and would never tolerate in her 45 years of marriage to my dad is another woman calling my dad a bitch. Never gonna happen. What my sister-in-law is never gonna do and never has done in her, what has it been, 5 years of marriage to my brother, is allow a woman to call my brother a bitch. Tisha, you did allow it. You did allow it. By no means would I ever let a woman call my boyfriend a bitch. The fact that Tisha sat there and let Stormy do it repeatedly and never said anything to her, that is you allowing it, Tisha. That's you allowing it. So she then said that the fact that she does that, I feel sorry for Courtney, and I wonder what goes on in their house. I said, oh God. She then says, you know what, Stormy, if you need help, blink twice. Y'all, I about slid off the couch. Because it's like, whoa. Now, see, in that case, that was disrespectful to Courtney. So Stormy is saying, no, we feel sorry for you, Tisha. And we do, girl. We really we do. Nobody feels sorry for Courtney, right? But we do feel sorry for you, Tisha. So Marceau said that Stormy is insecure about being in the spotlight and said that this is her way of just communicating and she shows out. I agree with that as well. Stormy is insecure about being in the spotlight. Stormy is not built for this show, right? We can tell. We can tell. And it doesn't mean that Stormy is a weak person by any means, but not everybody is built or made for TV. And I don't think that Stormy is. We have seen Stormy, like Stormy also doesn't know how to play the reality TV game. Remember, we saw Stormy being mad that Melody doesn't talk to the cast for a couple of weeks or so when they finally get done filming the reunion. Stormy was so upset about that, she just couldn't take it. Stormy does not understand or realize these people are not your friends, they're your coworkers. So I do believe that Stormy just does not know how to deal with being on TV. I wholeheartedly believe that. So Stormy goes on to say that she was known before the show and they're always trying to downplay that. I don't know what that has to do with you not, or with you being insecure about being on the show. I don't. I do think that you are insecure in being on TV. I do. A lot of people end up doing it. A lot of people feel they're ready to be on reality TV, but they just aren't. So Carlos then talks about the t-shirt selling comment that Marcel made against Melody. Melody said, "Oh, I got something for you." She holds up a t-shirt that says, "I only sell t-shirts," gives it to Marcel. Marcel says she was shady by giving him a 2X. Where she bring that big ass shirt? Gotta hold his boobs in. So she brought him this big ass shirt. They have a little laugh about it. Carlos asks Tisha if deep down she thinks that Marceau just does not want her to be successful. Tisha said, "No, I'm on all the businesses." Marceau said that we have a master plan, right? And we have outlined everything that we want to do, businesses, real estate, whatever the case. So we are teammates and partners. So he said that if Tisha were to decide that she wants a journaling business that does not coincide with the greater business plan that they have, he's not going to approve of it. So basically, Marceau does not care to support any of Tisha's passion projects or businesses that she might want to do that are solely based on her interests and her personal taste, right? He only wants to support and focus on businesses that he cares about that are in his business plan, which is why he was perfectly fine with Tisha getting her real estate license, but the fact that Tisha did the hair care line with her daughters, he did not seem to really care about. So Melody said that, Tisha, well, then Melody goes on to say that, Tisha, because Tisha said that at the end of the day, she has her goals, and Melody is like, and you hold on to those, follow through, and, get your goals out. Carlos brings up Tisha wanting to be a stay-at-home mom again, and Melody is like, what? Because by this point, they all haven't seen the rest of the season. So we're only gonna. I think that's just poor planning. But you know what? That's what happens when there's 31 godforsaken episodes. Okay, so Melody is like shocked. Marceau was like, yeah, and she has a choice in it. So Tisha said that she was a stay-at-home mom with, what is their son's name? MJ, Marceau Jr., with MJ up until he was 2. Her family told her, you need to start working. Don't depend on a man. Marceau was like, yes, a family full of strong, single women. We call them the Rogers. I said, so Melody looks at him and was like, Marceau, uncross your legs, because he has his legs crossed. And he tells her, cross your legs. So she's like, let me cross my legs. You acting sassier than me. And it's like, I will say this reunion does seem lighter. The shade that they're throwing doesn't seem, at least between Melody for now, between Melody and Marceau and Tisha, it's not as cutthroat. Nobody's being told they have a dark soul or anything of the sort. So they have a little kiki about it. Carlos asks if Marceau is scared of Tisha being too successful. And he said that he's scared of Tisha getting too big in the public eye, getting too successful, that she loses sight of 3 things, and those are their 3 children. Because, Marceau does not have his children in sight at all. So somebody got to take care of them. So he then said that, Tisha wants to be like a PTA mom and she wants to do all these things with the kids. She can't do that if she's, the boss of all these different businesses. And Melody is like, that's not true. I run my businesses. I fly all over for fashion shows and speaking engagements, and I don't miss any of the major things for my kids. I'm still there to make my kids breakfast and pick them up from school and do all this other type of stuff. So let's not act like women can't do both. And that's just the misogynistic way of thinking that Marceau has. My mom had 2 kids. Me and my brother are 2.5 years apart. We went to 2 different schools. We went to 2 different high schools. Because we're 2 years apart, we were rarely in the same type of school together anyways, right? After elementary school, we didn't go to the same school anymore. So my mom, who worked full-time, 40 plus hours because she worked in corporate America, had to go to work After I had to wake up, get us, get us up, get us, breakfast and stuff ready for school, take us to school, do that type of stuff before she went to work. My dad worked second shift, so from 2 to 11, he was indisposed, right? 5 days a week. So my mom would get off work, had to pick me up from this school unless I had practice, or if I when I started working, drop me off, go pick up my brother on the other side of town for sports and jobs and all that type of stuff. So it is very possible for that to happen. Same thing with my aunt, who my cousins are 10 years apart. My aunt was able to do the same stuff with them while still working. So I have friends that are doing it now. I have friends that have kids that are working full-time jobs, have careers, have social lives, and still don't miss a beat when it comes to their kids. So the fact that Marceau even said that just shows how much of like an archaic person he is. It's amazing. It's amazing. Tisha, this is why we feel sorry for you. But I guess, girl. So they applaud Marceau for it's a piece of hair on my face, y'all. They applaud Marceau for making it through the ladies segment. Like, you have no reason to even be up there right now, sir. No reason whatsoever to even be up there, but he made it through unscathed. So Kiki comes out and they replayed. I didn't even realize that was this season, that Kiki and Tisha made a pact that they wouldn't talk about each other's marriages. Kiki. So Kiki is they show the package and they show Kiki get glass, scratch your ass, whatever, and her throwing a drink, and Kiki is laughing. And I'm like, It wasn't funny, Kiki. It wasn't. It wasn't funny. So Kiki said that she didn't break her pact. She said that Tisha approached her off camera about the rumors. Kiki said she didn't go to Tisha about it. Tisha approached her about the rumors, and then we get all the horn beeping and all that type of shit again in regards to this person's name. Tisha then said that the situation was super, super messy and it's not really making sense. And then Kiki is like, yeah, because you too dumb to decipher it. And I said, oh, Lord. So Tisha sounds like she about to cry. Don't call me down my name. And it's like, Tisha, you was just rowdy and rat-tat-tat-tat when it came to Stormy. Why are you about to cry because she called you dumb? She called you dumb. Of all the shit to cry about, you about to get teary-eyed and voice quivering and lips shaking over being called dumb? Come on, Tisha. So Kiki then said that Tisha is ignoring the fact that she has a cheater on her arm. Tisha said that Kiki and Amin are both cheating on each other, to the fact that Kiki paid for Amin to go on a date with somebody else. And that's where we end. I thought this was entertaining. It is. I know a lot of people have checked out of the show. I haven't. I mean, TV is TV to me. It's mindless entertainment. And I was entertained tonight. We see on the next episode, we find out that Melody said in the court documents, Martell admitted that his relationship with Sheree was a business agreement, which we all knew. Martell seems offended by that. He walks out like a strong little kid and runs out there looking like a little Ninja Turtle. Kiki is saying that, I guess, so what? Well, that could be editing. Tiffany comes out and it's like, girl, why are you even... It's a lot. It's a lot. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode, what you thought about the reunion. If you have not already, thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Fear the deer. Go back.